straight from the gym. So I came to a different gym today because I wanted to do my grocery shopping in this area. And the gym that I'm going to is also over here. So one of the things I want to try to find is some lion's mane mushrooms. And the place that's over here tends to have mushrooms like fresh in bulk that I can just get. And sometimes they have lion's mane mushrooms, sometimes they have oyster mushrooms, sometimes they have, both. I'm curious if they'll have some or not. Well, why am I looking for lion's mane mushrooms? I have in mind to do like a Salisbury steak type dish for dinner. So I'm thinking the mushrooms, I probably need like green beans and potatoes. I'm gonna grab potatoes, like the small red ones. And yeah, I know I'll also probably have to grab like some, I wonder if they have like a beef bouillon that's like the chicken one that I got, the not chicken one. I wonder if they have like a beef one too. When I went last time, they didn't have it. I think they only had the chicken one. So we're going to run up in this grocery store real quick and see what we find. And I will catch y'all with a shopping cart in my hand. So this is what I mean when I say they tend to have them in bulk, but they don't have any lion's mane. They just got oyster mushrooms and shiitakes, and I'm not too interested in those oyster mushrooms. They don't look the best, so change of plans. I'm going to go to Trader Joe's, which is right next door as well, and grab a bunch of things. So now, maybe I can put a picture up right here to show you guys an idea of what I'm going to cook, or where I even got the idea from in the first place. But yeah, change plans. I'm gonna grab some of these. I got some in my basket already. Blue lotus flowers and some sour salt leaves. I'm gonna grab these just because this is one of the biggest things that I like about this store is that they just have so much stuff that you can get into, you know what I mean? From like natural things, supplements. I'm wondering if they have like tea bags in here. I've already ordered some, but I just wonder if they have them. I feel like I walked right away from them too. That's the crazy part. But it doesn't look like they have any tea bags. But yeah, even like, look at these soaps. I love these logos so much. This one is so nice about that, you know? I'm grabbing everything now. This is all the stuff that I'm gonna need for the mushroom dish. Just some green beans, potatoes, onions, and the mushrooms themselves. I'm also thinking that I'm gonna do just like a cold pasta salad for lunch, and I'm just gonna marinate the greens in like a coconut vinegar mix. So I've done it for like I've done like it with collard greens, but now I'm just gonna do it with regular arugula and spinach. I had it for Thanksgiving. It was really good, and I'm gonna do it again. I've been wanting it for a while anyway, so we're just gonna put that together and figure out what I'm gonna put in it. So I think we got everything. I also grabbed some like staple items too, and you know we have to get a bunch of more coconut milk. This is basically it. We're gonna need to do some more more grocery shopping, but at a different store. But I think at this point, it's mostly just making sure that I have snacks to eat throughout the week. And yeah, so I think I'm gonna run to Kroger's after this. All right, so we got all the food. We have all the food that needs to be cooked, quote unquote. Like I said, I'm gonna run to Kroger's now because I really want to start prioritizing also having snacks. So the way I eat at work, I'm not like just sitting down and eating everything at one fucking time. No, that's crazy. I would not be able to do that. So I snack all throughout the day. Like literally all throughout the day. If you see me and you don't see food in my hand, you did not see me. I'm talking like I just put everything inside my lunchbox, put it in the fridge, and like I go in and I grab a banana. I go in and I grab a protein bar. I go in and I grab some dates. And it's just like, damn, Brandon, you're like literally always eating something. Yes, abso-fucking-lutely. I'm not gonna wait. Oh, excuse me. What I'm not gonna do is wait all the way until 1 o'clock to then finally eat something. Hell no. So I get foods that I can just pull out of the fridge and eat. Now, if I make a wrap, if I have like a salad with me, I'm not gonna walk around with that. No. But that's why I'm saying, like, I have to have snacks as well. And when I say snacks, I also mean like fruit too. So protein bars, fruit, things of that nature. Something that I can just snack on throughout the day, you know? But I think I am going to buy maybe a couple bags of chips, another box of protein bars, and yeah, you know, it gets a little iffy. I probably also need to buy like bananas and shit too, but it gets a little iffy when it comes to actually getting like snacks, because I still like the protein bars do have like a bunch of shit inside of them, you know, and I'm not the biggest fan of that, but I'm gonna get them. No shade, I'm gonna get them, you know. I'm not perfect, but I'm also just not eating a bunch of different shit either, you know. Not to like downplay what I'm getting, but one little filthy snack, you know what I'm saying? Now the chips that I get only have potatoes and sea salt in them, but I do not eat potato chips as often as it may seem, because one thing about me, once I start eating potato chips, I keep buying them and keep buying them and keep buying them. So if I can buy the chips, pour some out into like a Ziploc bag or something, then I can save the chips for later in the week, for another day, as opposed to just munching down on a whole bag of chips for fun, you know? So let's get to the next store. I'm done talking. Let's get to the next store and cop some more shit. Watch the world split open. No, it ain't mine. Gotta love to cry, love to cry, love to cry, love to cry, float to fly, live to die. I'm here in Kroger's now. I'm grabbing like a bunch of fruit. I'm gonna grab a whole cantaloupe, cucumber, some peaches, some mangoes. They got mangoes for $1. bunch of bananas, dates, and a couple staples. Still walking around here. I think I'm only grab a few more things, and then my last back home. Alright, well I got all this sitting out. Let's talk about snacks for the week. Full blown cantaloupe. I got some peaches, I got some mangoes. I really like to get my mangoes from Kroger's. I like to get them only when they go on sale. So they go on sale for, I've seen 3 different sales. 99 cents. I've seen them for 3 for $5, and I've also seen them 4 for $5. These were 99 cents when I got them. I got the peanut butter and banana Cliff Bars instead of the white macadamia ones, just to try something different. I've had them before, they're okay, but like I said, I just want something different. Gotta have a whole pack of dates. They had the chips 2 for $7, so I just got 2 different kinds, some avocado oil ones and some olive oil ones. 2 bunches of bananas. We always keep bananas in the house, so I'm just re-grabbing some of those. I'm gonna keep adding on to what's on the countertop. So, staple items, lentils, quinoa. These red lentil pasta noodles are so freaking good. You got to try these if you get a chance one day. Like I said, these are in Trader Joe's. These are from Trader Joe's. Hemp seeds, always keep hemp seeds. You only see 1 can of these, but I bought like 6 cans of coconut milk. They're like $1.50 or $1.69, something like that. Gotta have pasta, spaghetti and penne noodles. Got to have these things always. Now for our first meal, and I'm gonna put up a picture again, that way I don't forget. I'm sure I showed it once, but I'm just gonna say it again and show y'all. Green beans. I wanted to do the portobello caps, but Trader Joe's had them for like $3 something. I'm not paying, I ain't paying that much for caps. You can find them cheaper elsewhere. 2 packs of the red potatoes. Again, I wanted the baby ones, like the real small ones, but these are fine. You just gotta cut them up smaller. And I have onions, but I think they're all starting to sprout. So I just grabbed 1 instead of grabbing a whole pack, because I can get a whole pack from the international store and I wasn't there today. So there's our first meal. And so for the second meal that I'm gonna make, it's just going to be marinated. I'm gonna marinate these 2 greens, spinach and arugula. The red pepper is gonna be raw. I'm not gonna cook it or anything. These are baby Roma tomatoes, mini Roma tomatoes. I thought that was pretty interesting, so I just grabbed them anyways. And I was thinking about putting the cucumber inside there anyways, so when I was at Kroger, I just grabbed one, because Trader Joe's only had the English cucumbers, and it was like, I just want a regular cucumber. They're like 69 cents. It's just like, just give me a regular cucumber. So I'm not buying that. And then if y'all haven't had this mango juice from Trader Joe's, this shit is so good. I grabbed a pack of these, really just for my family to try some. Grabbed a pack of these. I also grabbed some coconut water for me to have while I was out, but that's all the food right there. So all in all, I spent $112.70, and that is for snacks for the entire week, food for the entire week, 2 separate meals. So that's still within my range of between 80 and like 120. Really, like I said, I really tried to keep it under $100, but I got snacks this time, and not just snacks, not just like 1 box of the protein bars. I got like fruit, chips, thinking about, the entire week. Plus I got staple items. So $112 for not just food for the week, but also continuing on beyond that. That way I don't have to rebuy it. I don't think that's too bad. I don't think that's too bad. But I'm also the person that spent the money. So I did have to come to fresh market because and Trader Joe's has it, but I need like a mushroom seasoning or something of that nature. So I'm going to use this mushroom broth because I'm supposed to be making like a gravy. And if you see this right here, at the top, basically it says mushroom broth, cashews, and then it was like coconut cream. So look at that, coconut cream. Everybody using coconut cream. So coconut cream, maybe a dash of a dash of gravy, a dash of flour, this, and a couple other seasonings, and we should have a really tasty gravy that will get the job done. Go take a good look at it. Take a look at it. I am. Sage, you come back. Just some oil, this Italian seasoning, and some black pepper and sea salt. I thought I had some rosemary, but I think the rosemary is all gone, which is perfectly fine. And then these are just gonna get baked. I already have the oven at 400. And yeah, we just gotta pop these in there until they start to basically roast. And that's all for the potatoes. I try to, you know, excuse me, things like this don't require a lot of attention. So, and they take a bit longer too. So it's best for you to just get them prepared and out the way. That way you ain't gotta worry about them. Just kind of check on them every 10-15 minutes to make sure they're not burning. But other than that, the potatoes are ready and good to go. So yeah, you see that, just into a big pan. I also preheat this too. So just a couple of minutes. You got to oil it first, toss it in the oven for just a few minutes, then take it out, put the food on there, chuck it back inside there until the potatoes are done. All right, so this is basically everything that I'm gonna need. I'm just trying to figure out what order I'm gonna cook them in. So I'm thinking that I'll do I'm thinking I'll do the onions, then the garlic, then the carrots, then the green beans all together. Take them out the pot, and I'll start the mushrooms. Once the mushrooms are done, set everything aside, probably just put them back in their same container. And then I'm going to start working on the broth. I'm going to do this all inside the same pan. Then I'll start working on the broth once all the flavors from these foods are inside there. Really, all I'll need is these two things, maybe a couple more seasonings, and a bit of flour. Like I said, I've already had flour. And then from there, I'll chuck everything back inside the pot. I'll set some of the gravy aside. Or maybe I'll just take the gravy out, chuck these back inside there all together to heat them back up, then put them over top of the potatoes, and then pour the gravy over top of it all in the end. Yeah, that sounds good. So originally I wanted to do like a steak and potatoes type meal with lion's mane, but they didn't have any lion's mane at the store when I went to go get them. So instead, we're gonna do like it's basically like a roasted steak and potatoes type dish. Um, that's just what we're gonna go with, and I think now the biggest thing with the carrots is that they're also gonna need like a water to soften them up too. So I might just, did I say I was gonna throw the green beans in here with these? That'll probably be what I do. That way, when the green beans are cooking down, these will also be cooking down and softening. Now, the green beans, I did have to snip the green beans myself, which is not too bad. I wish I didn't have to, but it's not too bad. I I much prefer the really thin ones. You see, like these are pretty big. I much prefer the thin green beans because I feel like they also cook a lot faster too, as opposed to these ones. But the thing that's better about these for now is that they'll be more fulfilling, especially since this is gonna have to last all week long. So they'll get the job done. I'm gonna let these cook for a bit first down before I put any kind of water inside them and seasoning in them. I probably should have bought some like vegetable broth. Ouch. I should have brought like some vegetable broth or vegetable stock because I have the chicken bouillon cubes, but I don't want to use the chicken one when that's not the direction that this is supposed to be going in, you know? Pretty similar. I added a bit more water into this just because the green beans need a little bit more. But I'm still not going to add like a whole bunch of seasonings in there because I don't want to mess up the what's already in there. So just some onion powder and some black pepper. You gotta have some type of spice to it, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna let this water cook down again, and then this should be all good and done. I'll get this put inside of another pan, and then we'll get started on the mushrooms after this. By the time I get started on the gravy, the potatoes should be just about done because it looks like they're getting to a nice roasted color now. I can see them from here. Mm.
I'm on that, and like when you're on that machine, it gives you a clear line of sight to the door keeps coming upstairs. So, good. I see this lady walking.
So yeah, I got this shiitake mushroom raw that I'm gonna use for this, as well as some of this coconut milk. These things be stuck, but it's still nice because I like that the cream and the liquid are like still separated. Because I'll use the cream mostly, and then just kind of use the liquid on a needs case basis. And really, I'm just gonna let this kind of like cook down. I'm gonna add a few more things into it, but I don't want to do too much to this and like add too many flavors that don't belong in here. Like, I'm definitely gonna add some of this date syrup, and I'm definitely gonna add some of this white pepper. Basically all the same seasonings that I was using for the mushrooms just now. Date syrup, white pepper, coconut aminos, sage, and thyme. but I'm not going to use the coconut aminos, and I'm not going to use any of that garlic. So yeah, like I said, the potatoes are basically done now that I'm starting on the gravy. I just tried to move them around a little bit. Some of them are stuck, but that's nothing that a metal spatula won't be able to fix. So now you never really need a whole bunch of flour. And when you do add the flour, you got to make sure that you whisk it in enough, especially like spelt flour and chickpea flour, because they'll just clump up, and you do not want those to just clump up inside the food. And spelt flour, you also want to, like, I guess even just with regular flour, you want to make sure you cook that taste out too, because it will come with a taste, it will linger around, and you will be upset when you taste that food. So I just tried it, and it is thickening up. I am gonna add some of this garlic. It just tastes like it's missing something. And of course, like the powders and powdery seasonings are all gonna aid in helping this thicken as well. I don't know if you guys can really tell, but it's a lot thicker than what it was beforehand. And at this point, if I was just to turn, the stove top off and let it sit to the side and cool down, it would thicken all the way up. So yeah, I added some more date syrup and some more of the garlic powder in here and some sea salt. And no, this does not taste like coconut. Okay. I know it seemed like I probably used quite a bit of coconut in here, but it does not taste like that. It does taste like a gravy. It does taste like I used some kind of mushroom broth for it. The coconut taste is non existent. Yeah, this was pretty cool to make. I haven't made like steak and potatoes before, or at least not in a long time. But from what I remember, I haven't made something like this at all. And I definitely haven't made gravy for anything. And I'm a fan of gravy, you know what I mean? But now I'm gonna just get everything topped over each other. The gravy's still cooling off to the side. Yeah, I just wish that I think if anything, like I wish the all the potatoes weren't covered, because I have to figure out like I have to like actually take a picture of it and stuff. And I don't want to just make a plate of it, because I'm not eating this today. So this is gonna be dinner. So dinner time, I'll actually put a plate together, show the gravy, because the gravy I'm gonna store separate. That way it cools, and just kind of pour it over as I go, as opposed to just pouring all the gravy in here now at once. I feel like that would kind of defeat the purpose of everything. But so I'd have to actually make the plate, then take the picture of it or record it, and then add that to the editing. You know what I'm saying? So we're all good for the day. All the meal prepping is done. Y'all saw the pasta salad. Y'all saw the, quote unquote steak and potatoes, mushroom and potatoes with gravy, and we're good for the week. This will last, the amount of food that I make will last 7 days. But on the weekends, I only eat fruit. I don't eat any of this food until like way later to break that fast or, to like taste test it. Other than that, on the weekends, I'll only be eating fruit, you know, bananas and apples and dates. But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna get up out of here. We're all done for the week. Thank y'all for seeing us. Thank y'all for watching.